Financial Freedom 100. Listen, I'm super excited for all of you guys being here. We're waiting on a few other people to get in here, but we have to get started so that we can go ahead and get you guys this information. So I have some great news. Everybody that completes the full class, they get a certificate of completion. But I got some even better news. Anybody that meets the money challenge, they actually walk away from the class with a $200 gift card. So, we want to really motivate and inspire you guys to really go after the challenge. And the challenge is, once you use our principles and the techniques that we give you in this class, if you're able in this class, don't go with what you have right now in your bank account, but if you're able from this class to put away an extra $1,000 from the principles that we give you, then we're going to allow you to get our gift card. Is that cool? That's cool. That's how I'm motivated. I see your eyes sparkling right now. So listen, I really want to welcome you guys. I really have such a passion. My name is Eric Lee Brown. As many of you know, I love personal finance. I have such a passion to see other people succeed. And I see so many people that don't want other people to have, but I'm one that really wants you guys to prosper and really want you guys to succeed. And I know one of the biggest keys to success is belief. You have to really believe that you can do it. You have to believe that you're capable of it. So before I go forward into the lesson and everything that we're going to be talking about and what you're going to learn today, let's kick it off with Les Brown, I Believe.
Before April 1954, the common belief, the universal belief, because it had been tried again and again and again and people had failed, the belief was that man was not physically capable of breaking the 4-minute barrier, that he could not run a mile in less than 4 minutes. When something happens to them, they begin to believe that that's the way it is. That's the way it's always been, and they can't see the possibility of it being any different.
250 yards to go, and Bannister takes over. Watch his giant stride take him to the front as he races the last lung-bursting furlong.
Roger Bannister came along, and he broke the 4-minute barrier. Since that time, up to this day, over 20,000 people have done it, including high school kids. 20,000 people. What changed? Here's what happened when they got on the track. They knew it had been done, and because they knew it had been done, there was a new belief about this barrier that was unreachable. And those 20,000 people got in a race believing, knowing in their heart that someone had done it, that it's possible, that they could do it. If someone can make that dream become a reality, then you can make your dream become reality. Eyesight and mindsight. Eyesight is judging on what you see, judging according to appearances. But mindsight is how you interpret what you see. One guy said, "It's not possible, it's over, I'm finished. I can't do it. I can't make it." He surrendered. I've faced rejection again and again. I'm not going anymore. There are no jobs out there. But this other guy, he felt that in spite of the no's and rejections, in spite of how bad the economy is, in spite of what the newspapers are saying, that it's possible that somebody somewhere will give me a job. He just kept going, thinking it was possible. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's what we have to do with our dreams. Because things happen to you in life that you can never, ever anticipate. And many times when those things happen, you want to give up. Easy is not an option. It's hard living. Life is hard. See, it's hard when you are 49 years old, been working on a job for 17 years, and they come in and tell you you're finished and give you 1 week's severance pay. And you got to start all over again. It's hard handling just the tragedies of life. It's hard when you're working on something and you put everything you have in it, and it doesn't work out, you lose your money and other people's money. Know what I discovered? When you're working at your dream, somebody said the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. It's good to you. Why? See, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. You've got to have that kind of courage, that type of determination. If you want to make it happen, it's you. But you've got to take personal responsibility to make it happen. You must have faith. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas, unquestionably. You've got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience. That it's not going to happen as quickly as you want it to happen.
It's your dream. If you want it to happen, get your butt up and make it happen. If you want it to happen, rise and grind.
I dare you not to go back to sleep. I dare you to get up, and I dare you to chase your dreams.
It's possible you can win. Whatever comes to you, don't run from it. Don't try and duck it like most people do. Step toward it. You want to make your dream come true, you got to stay focused. Some people rather get even than get ahead. Stay focused on where you want to go. Where are you going with your life?
So y'all ready? Y'all ready to learn something? Yes, sir. Okay, great. Everybody got the sheets and everything. Y'all ready to fill them out? Now, the reason why I have the sheets and I have blanks on the sheets is for you guys to understand that we learn in different aspects, and so it helps you to retain what you're learning by actually penciling it in. So everybody in this room already have our textbook. So we're going to be having some homework in our textbook. We're going to be reading the first 2 chapters, and today we're going to go over a few things about that. But what I really want to do, I want to really let's just dive in and we're going to learn today how money works, what is money, and we're going to learn how to value money, because if you don't learn to value money, you would never be able to manage money, you would never be able to save money, and you really will not be able to multiply your money. So let's dive in. So what's the first thing you see on the sheet? What is money? Money is an idea. It's really not real, and I believe that's the reason why a lot of people don't have a lot of money, because they think it's real. So they don't use their mind to really exercise their ability to really grab a hold of a lot of money. So it says a medium of exchange for goods and services in the form of coins and banknotes. So write that in. What is money? Money is an idea. Now watch this. The Phoenicians came up with this idea of metal money. Write that in. The Phoenicians came up with the idea of metal money in 1500 BC. And the reason they came up with this idea of money is because they had a big problem. The problem was, back then, their money was considered their cattle and their animals. And they had a problem because they tried to take all of that cattle and all of their animals. They tried to take it to exchange from a long place away, and it got very hard. So let me show you. So their animals were too heavy. You could write that in. And made their trips to exchange them horrible. So now watch this. So we're talking about money, and money being an idea. Look at what the sheet says. So it says, if money was created from an idea to solve big problems, then how can you earn more money? So the way that you earn more money is what? By thinking of ways to solve other people's problems. So if you figure out a way to solve other people's problems, say for example, our company, Reverse Financial Dilemmas, if we really look at the numbers, how many people really need a detailed financial plan? That industry per year is $47 billion. So when we're in that industry to solve people's problems of not being able to properly manage their money. What problems can you solve with the ideas that you have been given? So let's look at it. The first key to financial freedom. This is in the first chapter of our book. One idea is all you need to become financially free. Only thing you need is one idea. So I'm saying to you guys today is that you're one thought away from being financially free. Tyler Perry stated, all I had was one idea. He said it was to do a play. And he said, my idea failed 6 times. But he said, by the grace of God, he was able to be where he is today. In the book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill stated, it is this, all achievement, all earned riches have their beginnings in an idea. There we go again, talking about the idea. So what I want you guys to really know, once you shift your mindset to really understanding that you're one thought away from financial freedom, then you're going to be more willing to think of that idea to take the next step. So really what I'm doing right now, I'm breaking everything down for you to shift your mindset to thinking that it's so hard to get money. I want to shift your mindset to know that money can come to you easily, frequently, perpetually, and in great quantity. So we see that Robert Kiyosaki said his rich dad told him, the more real you think money is, the harder you will work for it. If you can grasp the idea that money is not real, you will grow richer faster. That's what his rich dad told him. And he said people that basically that think money is real, they find themselves working harder for it. But other individuals who shift their minds and understand that money is really not real, it's only an idea, these are the individuals that can go places that you never dreamed. I don't know any billionaire that is not a visionary. And so it says whatever, this came out of Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. It says whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. I'm going to say that again. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve. So what I want you to know, if you flip over your pages, you are carrying around 3 pounds that can earn you more money than you can count. You're carrying around with you everywhere that you go 3 pounds that can earn you more money than you can count. Isn't that amazing? Earl Nightingale asked an expert one day, he said, what is wrong with men? and the expert said, you know what's wrong with men today? They simply don't think, but they conform. He said those 2 things. So most men and most individuals that are barely getting by, they're barely getting by because they simply don't think and they conform to what other people are doing instead of doing what is in their heart to really do. And we know why most people don't do what they really want to do. You know why, right? Fear. False evidence appearing real, right? It's fear that keeps more people back than anything else. I'm going to go here. That's why if you read the first chapter of my book, I talked about Dr. Miles Monroe and how Dr. Miles Monroe said the richest place in the world is where? He said in the graveyard, because what? People carry all of their talents, their abilities, their books, their businesses, what? To the graveyard with them. Why? The biggest reason most people carry it to the graveyard with them is because they just don't believe. They just don't believe. They looking at it, I want to do it, but to be honest, if they're honest with themselves, they really don't believe that they're capable of it. So let's look at Jim Rohn. I love Jim Rohn. He said this statement. He said, if you change, everything around you will change. So even as I talk to you guys at the seminar, you have to be willing to face the man in the mirror on a consecutive basis. You have to be willing on a consecutive basis to face and look at yourself in the mirror, because whether you know it or not, you are where you really want to be. Whatever house you're in, whatever car you're driving, whatever job you're at, those are the things that you really want. But oh, I tell you, if you dare to change what you really want and to change it into something more, most people, guess what they do? They settle. They wake up and settle. They settle for that relationship. They settle for that car. They settle for that house. But the moment you stop settling, guess what? Everything changed for you. Because you look in the mirror and you realize, listen, I got to do something. Forget about looking at everybody else. I got to do something with Lance. I got to fix me. Something is not right with me. I got to fix my belief system. I got to change the way I've thought about myself. I was reading a book one day that was phenomenal. And the lady said in the book, she said, we talk to ourselves all the time, but we got to make sure we're saying the right things about ourselves. So instead of telling ourselves, oh, I'm not going to be able to do that, we got to switch it around and start telling ourselves, I can do that. So this is a daily confession. Today I will be better than I was yesterday. Tomorrow I will be better than I am today. The day after tomorrow, I'm going to be great, unstoppable, walking in my divine purpose with more than enough money to supply my every desire and need. That's a daily confession. Once you continue to speak out daily confessions, guess what's going to begin to happen? You're going to begin to build your faith. If you guys are Bible scholars, I'm not a Bible scholar. I know a little bit about the Bible. The Bible says faith cometh by hearing, and by hearing the word of God. So if we continue to confess the right things over our lives and speak the right things to ourselves, guess what's going to happen? We're going to build up the confidence to do what, Lance? To go after what we really want. Go after what we really want. When you walked into this class, you might have been horrible with your personal finances. And the only way that you would ever change if you accept the fact that today is a new day for you. Until you accept the fact that today is a new day for you, we're going to give you the principles, we're going to give you the keys, and you're still going to walk out here the same because you didn't embrace what we were telling you. So you have to really embrace that who you used to be with your personal finances. When you walk out of this class, you're no longer. You might as well start confessing about your money that, oh, yesterday I wasn't that good, but today I'm an expert. Because each and every day you're going to get better and better, and we're going to work alongside you so that you can get where you desire to be financially. And that's what you need. You need people in your life that is willing to push you to where you really belong. So we see here, if you do not make a decision today to see yourself differently, your behavior will never change for you to walk in financial freedom. One of the things that Dave Ramsey said, he said winning at money is 80% behavior and 20% head knowledge. He said it's 80% behavior. So basically he said that it's not what you really know, it's what you're willing to convince yourself to do. So you got to convince yourself to say, I'm not getting those Jordans this paycheck. You got to convince yourself to say, I'm not going out with that young lady and spending $50 this weekend. You got to convince yourself to say, the more money I keep in my pocket, the happier I'm going to be. And don't tell her you learned it here. You got to learn how to say, like my friend said, no. Y'all feeling that faith coming into y'all? That ain't nothing but faith. It's an impartation. So when you leave this class, the way that you saw yourself before you got here, you're going to be completely changed. It's a new day for you. So watch this. One way to train your mind to think is to ask yourself, this is the ultimate question. Ask yourself in every circumstance when you want to earn an amount of money that seems far-fetched, ask yourself, how can I? And the reason you're asking yourself, how can I, is because you can. And all you need to know is how, next act, and then persist. So you need to know how, then you need to act on what you just revealed to yourself, and then you need to persist and finish it. And we're going to talk about some things about finding your purpose so that you won't give up on your dreams and give up on what you're persistent after. So this is the challenge that we have for the class that we're going to be giving you guys a $200 gift card for. So this is the challenge. How can I earn $1,000? And this is not by next week, but you guys see the paper. But by the end of this class, we want to see your savings account at $1,000. And if you show us that by the principles that we lay out, we're going to give you a gift card for $200. And it says, how can I earn $1,000 by next week, tomorrow, the next hour, the next minute, second, and win the money challenge and take your first step toward financial freedom. Now watch this. Some people, if I tell you, how can you earn $1,000 in the next second, you would say it's impossible for some of you. But I can tell you right now, everybody that came here drove. So because everybody that came here drove, that means you either own a car or you're leasing a car. If you own the car, then you can sell the car and get an extra $1,000 and buy you something else. Am I right? If you have on a nice pair of shoes that you can convince somebody, hey, these shoes, these the new products, that's a quick what? $1,000 if they really like it. Are y'all understand what I'm saying? If you got a new house that you just bought, you can do what? You can make one phone call and a second later, you can say, Eric, I just made a what? A cool $1,000. And so basically what I really want to do is shift you guys from limiting yourselves to begin to think at another level. When other people are thinking, how can I make $50,000 a year? I want you guys to begin to shift and say, okay, if somebody else was able to make $1 billion in 1 year, I can at least go for the $1 million this year. Now watch this. I love what Jim Rohn said. He said, don't just go after the money to be rich, but go after the money for the person that you have to become in order to obtain it. Do you know what kind of person, people talk about rich people, but do you really know what kind of person you got to become to have $1 million in the bank and not go insane? Everybody and their mama is going to call you once they find out you got that $1 million. People you don't know are going to try to be your cousin when they find out you got that $1 million. So that's why we have to be careful what we ask for. Because this class is definitely going to shift you to get there, but you got to realize the type of person you want to become once you get there. So you got to grow as you go, as I said. You understand what I'm saying? So watch this. This is what I want you to know. It is possible because all things are possible to who? To them that believe. You have to understand that there is nothing impossible. I was watching a video recently about a guy. You guys know about Iron Man. You know, everybody, you watch the movies. But I saw a guy, he was on these, I don't know what you call them, but he was flying in the air off this little machine. And I was sitting there in disbelief like, is this real? But it was actually real. This guy was on two things. He wasn't in an airplane, and he was flying around over some water. He was hoovering. They might call it a new hoverboard. But what I'm telling you guys is that whatever your mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve. Anytime a man can go to the moon back and forth and nobody's dying anymore from it, that's amazing. Anytime we can walk outside or go downtown and we see skyscrapers that are 800 feet in the sky, that's amazing. So if we see those things from people that have envisioned them and thought them out and said, I can really do that. Just think about the faith the Wright brothers had to have in order to create the airplane when nobody else was flying. He saw a bird in the air and he said, wow, maybe we could do that. Just think about what you can do if you're willing to think big.